Before I start, I want to ask you to hit that subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments, because this story isn't just mine. It's something many of us silently lived through. It was just past midnight when I dialed her number. My thumb hovered over the call button for a moment. I wasn't expecting anything unusual, just the comforting sound of her voice. But instead of hearing her, a man answered. His voice was calm, almost casual. "She's in the shower," he said. For a second, the world tilted. My mind refused to catch up. In the shower? At midnight? Alone? My heartbeat felt like a drum in my chest, and my hands went cold. I muttered something incoherent, hung up, and stared at the ceiling. Sleep had abandoned me. My apartment felt suffocating, even though I was alone. At first, I tried to rationalize it. Maybe she had invited a friend over for some emergency. She did have male colleagues she occasionally worked late with. Maybe I was overreacting. But that voice, calm, unembarrassed, it didn't belong to anyone I knew. The next morning, I noticed the subtle signs I'd missed before. Her phone was face down on the kitchen counter, buzzing quietly with messages she quickly hid when I walked in. She avoided my gaze, hummed distractedly when I spoke, and suddenly had late-night work calls that seemed convenient. I questioned myself. Was I imagining this? Was my suspicion jealousy disguised as instinct? But a cold knot of anxiety gnawed at me. There was no reason for a man to answer her phone in the middle of the night. None. A few nights later, I couldn't sleep again. I sat in the living room, staring at the doorway of our bedroom. Her scent still lingered faintly in the air, the smell of shampoo mixed with the night. I tried to convince myself of trust, but the instinct of my gut screamed otherwise. That's when I noticed it. Her laptop left open on the coffee table. A message notification blinked. "Can't wait to see you again. Last night was perfect." The world narrowed. My stomach twisted. I read it again and again. Each word was like a hammer striking my chest. I wanted to throw the laptop, to scream, to run, but I froze. Part of me wanted to wake her, confront her immediately. Another part wanted to bury my head under the blankets and pretend I hadn't seen it. I confronted her gently the next evening. "Who's texting you at night?" I asked, my voice calm but tight. She looked at me, startled, as if I'd accused her of something impossible. "It's just a friend from work." "You're overthinking," she said, her tone almost rehearsed. But her eyes flickered briefly, and I caught it, a hesitation, a flicker of guilt. Days passed, and my suspicion turned into quiet surveillance. I noticed the small betrayals that added up like shards of my heart. She laughed a little too long at her phone, stepped out abruptly when mine buzzed, and avoided sitting too close when I tried to hold her. Memories that once warmed me, the laughter in our kitchen, the late-night cuddles on the couch, suddenly felt like lies. Every hug felt borrowed, every smile a mask. The final blow came accidentally. I was doing laundry and found a charger tucked between the sheets. Not hers, smaller, sleeker, the kind a man would carry. And in the browser history, photos, conversations, plans she had kept for me. The realization hit me in a wave. It wasn't just a fling. It wasn't a mistake. It had been happening for months, hidden behind ordinary life. I remember sitting in the dark that night, my fingers trembling over my phone, trying to decide if I would call her, or just vanish. When she returned home, I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just looked at her and said, "I know." Her eyes widened. For a moment, I saw regret, fear, and a flicker of love, like a dying candle struggling against the wind. I didn't mean she started, but I stopped her. I didn't need excuses. I didn't want to hear them. I only wanted to know if what I felt was real, if the years, the nights, the promises had meant anything at all. "I loved you," I said softly, "and I still do. But this—" I gestured to the space between us, heavy with unspoken truths. "This breaks me." She tried to reach for me, but I stepped back. It was over. I didn't hate her. That would have been easier. I just felt the emptiness where trust used to be, the silence of love I had carried alone for too long. The following days were a blur of sadness, reflection, and small steps towards self-respect. I replayed memories, analyzing every smile, every touch. Some hurt, some healed. I realize betrayal doesn't just end with lies. It steals the innocence of shared moments. But I also realize something else. I could rebuild myself stronger without her deceit casting shadows on my future. The night I finally let go, I walked to the balcony, feeling the cold winter air brush against my face. I didn't cry anymore. Instead, I felt a quiet strength, the kind that doesn't come from revenge or anger, but from accepting the truth, painful as it is, and choosing to move forward. Sometimes I still think of her. Sometimes I replay the memory of a man answering the phone at midnight, and I shiver. But mostly, I remind myself that love is precious. Trust is sacred, and some endings, though devastating, give birth to beginnings we never expected. So, if you've ever been in my place, hold your heart gently. And if you're watching this, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that make you question, feel, and reflect. And tell me in the comments what you would have done if you were me.